All right, welcome into the high noon edition, a Christmas Eve spectacular edition of Pugs and Company. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, noon, 12 noon. That's why we call it high noon. We get together and we talk about all the things that are trending, all the things that people are talking about, and whatever else. We also do what we call a Pillow Talk edition. We do that at 9 o'clock every night. All these times are Central Standard Time, the best time. 9 o'clock is Pillow Talk. That's a little bit more freewheeling, a little bit less utilitarian is the word I like to use to describe it. A little bit more wacky, zany, have people with me. We screw around. But this one here, the high noon broadcast, you tune into this on any normal day. Let's be honest. It's Christmas Eve. All bets are off. Things are topsy-turvy. You don't know what to expect on Christmas Eve. We are in the window, people. We are in the Christmas window. Christmas window, by the way, shuts this year 7 p.m. Sunday evening. That's right. Now, about Wednesday, we open up what we call the New Year's window. So there's a couple of days of sort of, I don't know if it's still celebrating Christmas or am I looking forward to New Year's? Am I making plans for New Year's yet? Or am I still worried about returning gifts from Christmas? There's like a little 3-day window there. But then comes the New Year's window. Not as big a window, not as important a window as Christmas. Because Christmas has its own season. They don't call it the New Year's season. They call it the Christmas season. Christmas is the top dog. All right, it is Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, year of our Lord 2021. It is the 358th day of the year. 7 days remain until the end of the year. That's right. 7 more of these. 7 more sleeps, as the kids say. By the way, our Christmas theme, very festive. Thank you, Jennifer. It is. 'Tis very festive. Leslie, thank you as well. This is all supposedly what we're listening to, the little Christmas music that we've got. It's all supposedly non-copywritten generic Christmas music. But you wouldn't know the difference. You're not going to hear any Rudolph the Red. You're not going to hear any of that stuff because that stuff, Big Christmas needs to catch a check if we're going to be playing that stuff. We don't want to do that. But this is all generic Christmas music. Theoretically, it's free. It says it is. It says for YouTube content creators. Free, non-copy. I'm sure there'll be a problem with it, though. I mean, here's what because I was listening to this earlier this morning, trying to figure out if any of it was even remotely recognizable. And they're not, but they are, because they are completely in the Christmas music vein. Like this, a new one starting up. Kind of like, skating around on a pond, maybe. White, billowy snow everywhere. That ain't happening this year. It's 82 degrees. I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's sunny outside. I might go for a swim. Dallas Christmas. It's crazy. So I was thinking about these songs. I might spend the weekend writing lyrics. I might take this non-copywritten music and let's create some new Christmas standards. They're so easy. The Christmas songs are just like country songs. I told you my kid has this game that he plays where he goes, we write a country song about anything. We'll be sitting in traffic and the car in front of us will be a pickup truck, right? So he'll just start singing about that. Pickup truck at a long red light. That's his game. You can write a country song about anything. And a ray sticker on the back. You can do that with Christmas too. Like there are just certain buzzwords, So I think I could probably do that. All right, but let's get into what today is. How about a moment of joy here? Yeah, we'll get things started with a nice moment of joy before we run down all the things that are happening today. And there's not a whole lot happening today because it is the aforementioned Christmas Eve holiday. I like Christmas Eve better than Christmas. And there's something about it. There's something about just... It's less pressure. It's more... Like the night before Christmas Eve is the best night because that's the night that I believe that we all actually go out and have drinks with people we really want to have drinks with and spend a little time with and talk with. That's 2 days before Christmas. And Christmas Eve is where you usually go to the people who you aren't going to be spending Christmas with's house. I like that. I like that better. Yeah. All right, let's see here. So this is our moment of joy. Ready? Can you see this? All right, I want you people to watch this. This is an absolutely crazy, beautiful thing. Should I kill the Christmas music? I don't really think we need the sound on this, so who cares? All right, here's our moment of joy, folks. Watch this. I'm hypnotized by this technology. Okay, so this is a bar in the year 2021. What about the glass on the bottom of that glass? Did you just break the? What the hell is happening here? That beer is filling up from the bottom? Now, I haven't been to bars with any regularity in quite some time, so I've never seen this before. There's one. Are you kidding? I gotta see how this works again. All right, so what we're dealing with here is there's some sort of a keg system underneath here, and it's pressurized. These glasses are obviously specially made to fit this contraption, which is a contraption if I was a bar owner, I would absolutely buy because I'm hypnotized by it. I would absolutely go to a bar. I mean, not that I think it's going to taste like this beer. Although I do wonder, are there any implications for the head? I was a bartender. We learned how to pour certain beers certain ways. But that head doesn't look great. The bottom-up head doesn't, does it? I guess it looks all right, unless it evaporates in the next 15 seconds by the time the waitress brings it to the bar to the table. Okay, so here's what I think about this. This is absolutely brilliant, and it's why it's my moment of joy. Oh, my God. Whoever came up. Okay, first of all, the contraption. Let's talk about the contraption. What does it do? Does it serve any purpose? Well, as a former bartender, yeah, it does. It looks like it makes pouring beer a lot easier. You just put the glasses on the little things and they fill up and you can go and ring up or do whatever else that you're doing, maybe take another person's drink order. So does it actually serve a purpose within the structure of a bar? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Is it expensive? Yeah, I bet it's expensive. And I bet it's, to some people's way of thinking, bar owners who are always skimping pennies or scrimping pennies, I guess is the word. Maybe it seems a bit cost prohibitive, but I am telling you, people will come into your bar to see that. That is cool. That thing will pay for itself, I believe. But also, all right, so now that's the sales pitch. That's how you get it in the bars. Hell, maybe even you work out a deal. You don't have to buy the whole contraption. You could just lease it monthly, give us a percentage of your beer sales or whatever. I don't know. We work something out. But I don't think it'd be difficult to get those into bars because, like I said, those look cool. But secondly, think of now the company that built that thing. They're probably going to be in every cool bar in America. At least, it might be a fad, so it might be over, or maybe better technology will come along. I don't know. Maybe people decide that, the beer tastes funny that way, and there'll be a whole, anti-publicity campaign, and people are like, I don't want that beer, so that'll probably change. But right now, man, they have an opportunity to get those damn things in every bar in America, and those are specially made glasses. That company is now one of the largest glassware makers in America overnight because they have to make all of the glass that fits into their machines. Oh, I just love it. It's so brilliant. Jeff Glenn says, here's a 1-minute video that shows the fill-up close. Byron says that was pitched to him in Oklahoma in 2009 or 2010. That technology has been around for a while. Why didn't you? What do you mean, Byron? You running a bar up there in Oklahoma, first of all, and I haven't been invited. Secondly, you would turn that down? Oh, my God. You guys. All right, that's our moment of joy. So, today is a day, like I said, unlike many others. There's not a lot going on. There's just not. There's the Jeff Glenn yesterday. Well, if you would choose to talk about some of the topics that you don't talk. Shut up, Jeff. Shut up. Don't try and program direct me. I know what I'm doing. I'm talking about things that I want to talk about. I would rather sleep well at night than engage in more divisive or just ridiculous, absurd, really, conversations about things that I just honestly don't care about. I don't give a shit about politics. I don't give a shit about, I don't know. I guess that's really it. That's really all we're trying to stay away from here. Byron says, I left Oklahoma in 2010, and yes, I turned it down. It was crazy expensive and high maintenance. Well, then you know what? I need to take a job selling for them because I think we can work something out. I don't think it needs to be cost prohibitive. I think it would seem like that, but there's a pitch to be made. Hell, I'll buy them. I will buy like 1,000 of them. I'll get some rich dude. That's always the hiccup in my plan. That's always the plans are always great until we get to and I'll get some rich dude. That's kind of the hardest part of all of these plans. But I'll buy like a whole bunch of them off of the company, and then I'll start a glassware company, and I'll provide the glasses. My glasses will be cooler than those too. My glasses goblets would be cool. All right. So there's not a whole lot going on today because it's 24th, and historically, there's a lot of just a lot of stupid stuff. However, lately, E and I, during the High Noon broadcasts, I made the comment that I believe that there is probably a major plane crashing every single day of the year before 2020, because I set the line of demarcation at 2020, the year 2020, when aviation finally kind of figured everything out. See, my theory on this is that for the first 60 years of aviation, of commercial air travel, that they were just, there was money to be made. So if something goes wrong, it goes wrong. We'll figure it out. And I believe it took them about 60, 70 years to figure that out. And so the line of demarcation that I make is 2000. Did I say 2020? I think I said 2020. I mean 2000, the year 2000. That's when I figured they figured it out. Now, yeah, I know we had the 9/11 and all that stuff, but that's hijackings. That's not the plane. A gear didn't work because they had never anticipated this happening in flight. You know what I mean? Something like that. Planes used to crash for mechanical or pilot error issues all the time. And I said to E, I bet you there's a major plane crash every single day of the year. And he said, no, it's no way, blah, blah, blah. So every day we've been focusing on plane crashes. And today, historically, the 24th, Christmas Eve, is one of the busiest days of the year for aviation travel. So you would think on a day like today that there'd probably be a number of plane crashes to choose from. And, you'd be right. 6. There have been 6 today. So this book that E and I are going to put together, a little travel manual, it's going to outline every day of the year and all the plane crashes that happened. And then we will advise you what are the best days to travel based on this exhaustive research. That will be all done right here every day. You're a part of this research now. In 1964, a Flying Tiger Flight 282 crashes off after takeoff at San Francisco International Airport, killing all aboard. In 1966, a Canada Air, a Canadian airliner chartered by the United States military, crashes into a small village in South Vietnam, killing 129. 1971, Lanza Flight 508 is struck by lightning. See, planes don't get struck by lightning anymore. And we figured that out. That's something, okay, so they're going to get hit by lightning. What if that happens? How can we mitigate the issue? And this was 71. Struck by lightning, it crashed, blah, 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 killing 91 people on board. That was in Peru. In 1994, Air France Flight 8969 is hijacked. Okay, so I don't really count this one, but there's a hijacking. And then in 1996, a Learjet 35 crashes into Smarts Mountain near Dorchester, New Hampshire, killing both pilots on board. All right, so Learjets don't really count, except I include it in this list because, we want to sell books to people who fly private. And also, E and I kind of settled on the jet era. So this is really taking place since commercial airliners have been using jet propulsion. Not the twin engines and not those old, killed Benny Goodman or whoever. No, not one of those planes. We're just talking about jets. This is in the jet era. 1999 now. Indian Airlines Flight 814 is it's another hijacking. All right, so a couple hijackings. 1, 2, 3. So we got 3 legitimate commercial airline crashes on this day. We've got 2 hijackings of commercial airliners on this day, and one Learjet. One Learjet that went down. Hey, do you guys remember Payne Stewart, the golfer, when his Learjet went down? Oh my God, that was like one of the craziest stories ever. So he was flying to a golf tournament on his Learjet, and apparently there was like, I'm going to dumb it down, okay? Basically, there was like a carbon monoxide leak on the plane. I don't know. It was probably something else. It was called something else, but it was the same effect, okay? So it knocked everybody out on the plane, on the Learjet, the pilots, everybody. And the Learjet was on like cruise control or something. I know it's probably called automatic pilot or something, but like I said, I'm dumbing it down. So the plane was on like cruise control, and it just flew across the country. And there were like naval jets. Okay, I know it was probably Army jets, maybe even Air Force jets, but you get the picture. You know what I'm talking, military jets. They scrambled those and they like flew beside it, and they were reporting that everybody's sleeping. Everybody, what a way to, I mean, I guess that's the best way to go in a plane crash if you're sleeping, I guess, but oh man, that is a creepy ass story. The Payne Stewart death. All right. Let's see here. Birthdays, we do birthdays. Not a lot of birthdays. A couple. Nothing I really feel like mentioning. Tomorrow, a lot of birthdays. For some reason, a lot of people born on the 25th. Not so many. I guess what moms are holding it in. I don't know. But I want a Christmas baby, not a Christmas Eve baby. So. But one thing that did happen here that I thought was the weirdest thing about today. Okay, so on this day in 2009, George Michael died. Now, not the Wham guy, the Sports Machine guy. Remember when George Michael Sports Machine, he used to come on after, I don't know, the news on Sunday nights. And it was just this guy, oh man, it was all technology and bad 80s technology. I got the Sports Machine. It was like a big giant computer. And he would just hit a giant button, flap, let's go to Mile High Stadium where the Denver Broncos took on the Oakland Raiders, and you'd watch the highlight. It was a wrap-up show. It was a Sunday night nationally syndicated sports wrap-up show. And the dude's name was George Michael, which I always thought was really interesting because, there was, of course, the pop singer named George Michael. And it would always be like when he was in the news, you'd have to make a distinction. Not that George Michael, the other George Michael. So on this day in 2009, George Michael Sports Machine guy died, right? I said, what's the weird thing about today? Because in 2016, tomorrow, the other George Michael died. The guy who used to live around the corner here. The George Michael, I want your sex. Married the Dallas, Texas artist, Kenny something or other. I don't know. My partner, he's into the art thing. That's not really my lane. But yeah, how weird is that? So like one George Michael dies on the 24th. And then the other George Michael dies, okay, a couple years later, but on the 25th. That's the weird thing about today. But here's something that I did find. And I don't usually do this because we like to keep it light, but it's Christmas Eve. You've either been in a miserable mood and can handle this, or maybe you're just a little bit too jolly and this will take it down. But how about all of these celebrities who have died on this day or Christmas? I actually put this list together: Christmas deaths or Christmas Eve deaths. Okay. So here we got Eartha Kitt died on this day. Eartha Kitt. Dean Martin died on Christmas. Boy, there's a really good documentary on Dean Martin floating around out there. I don't know if you get a chance to see it, but that guy was pretty cool. George Michael, the aforementioned George Michael. And, okay, let's see who else do we got here. The other George Michael, the Sports Machine George Michael. We talked about him. All right. How about I don't know who Joan Miro is. I don't know who he is, but he died on this day at the age of 90 and 83. I don't know who that is. Billy Martin died on Christmas. Yankee skipper Billy Martin, the crazy man. He died on this day in 1989. I think he was drunk. Someone named Joan Blondell. She's an actress. I don't know who she is. Nicolae Ceausescu. He's like some Romanian dictator. He died on this day. Okay, some Japanese emperors. Okay, that's it. Anyway, there's a lot of people that died on this day. Complete list of people who've died. Oh, let's go back to the Christmas music, shall we? We don't want to be too anti-festive on this show as we delve into all the things that are happening in this world today. All right, let's get into some of these trending topics, some of these current events, some of the things that are worthy to talk about. Sorry, bear with me here. Enjoy the music. Wait a second. I know this song. This is a real song. What do you mean this song isn't copywritten? It ain't a Christmas song either. I mean, I suppose we could stretch it to fit into an overall Christmas motif, but this ain't a Christmas song. All right, folks, let's get into some of the... Oh, here's a question for you, though. For those of you hanging out in the chat room. Was this the worst year ever? Was 2021 the worst year ever? Like, are we going to start hearing that in the next couple of days? Oh, I am so done with 2021. Worst year ever. Because it seems to me that we say that. That's just so tired. Oh, shut up. Really? Was it worse than 2020? Was it the 2020? I don't remember anybody going, oh my God, I can't wait to have another bunch of years like 2020 again. 2020 was so... No. You're like, 2020, the worst year ever. Every year is, I guess, becoming the worst year ever. So it's a record that was set to fall. Oh, Ed tells me why this is okay music. Classical music is usually okay because of how old it is. Okay. All right, that's good. So I had an idea that I wanted to do tonight. Yeah, so I was going to do like a pillow talk show. I don't know if I'm going to do a pillow talk show now. Sorry. I got invited to a fancy Christmas dinner, and you know what? Quite frankly, I don't get many invites these days, so why not? Although I have no idea what I'm going to wear to this fancy Christmas Eve dinner. It's 82 degrees outside. I haven't washed any of my summer, it's going to be 80 degrees at 10 o'clock tonight wear since the summer. Since the last time I went. It's all dirty. It's all put away for the year. Because that's how I do it. I stick it all in bags. Except I forget, I'm in Texas now. It's not like there's 4 seasons. I should probably wash that shit because I could use it. Get nothing to wear. But here's what I was going to do. I was going to do sort of like an improv thing. I wanted to do a live Santa tracker show. But then, just like with every idea that I have creatively, the other voice came in and said, that is so stupid. That is, oh my God, that'll be the worst thing. That'll be the most embarrassing thing that you've ever created. Why do you think that you're capable of pulling something like that? I mean, I know that you have seen it done by other people, but what is it about you that makes you think that you're capable of doing something like that? You're not. You're not good at that stuff. Don't even try. Go climb into bed, eat some candy bars, and binge watch Yellowstone, because that's really all you're good at. That's the other voice in my head. So I decided not to do the Santa tracker thing because that guy won again. But that would be a cool idea, though. I mean, what I wanted to do was have kids around, and in my mind, there's a lot more listeners than there are really. So in my mind, it's like the world would come together, and I would track Santa, and it would be fun. And people might see it on YouTube who don't even know what the show is at. That'll be good promotion and all that stuff. So that may not happen. Probably not. I got invited to a fancy dinner, and I'm very excited. Okay, so what's trending today? Santa tracker is trending. There's a whole bunch of them out there, so what do you need? Mine would just be stupid. Santa tracker is trending because that's a cool thing to do. That was always fun. I remember we didn't have Santa trackers per se. We had the weatherman. The weatherman on Christmas Eve would always do a Santa update for the area, and he'd show where Santa is. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I mean, that's like, I'm 10 years old. Here I got Tom Skilling, the local weather guy. He is confirming that not only is he confirming that Santa is real, but he's got a radar fix on him, and he's over the Netherlands at the moment. And so that gives me about 3 hours. I can go to sleep. I could still be under the wire, and everything will be cool. He won't be mad at me. That was great. Now they got all these digital things. Santa tracker apps. Mom, let me see the app. That sounds awesome. Also trending today, Bad Buddy. I don't know what Bad Buddy is until I clicked on it. And then I learned. Bad Buddy. Fans tune into the latest episode of the Thai romantic comedy drama, Bad Buddy, starring Korapitat Kurdipan, and Pawat Chitswajani D. How is that trending in America? How is It's a Wonderful Life not trending? What is Bad Buddy? I like Squid Games. I don't know if I'm ready to make just, Southeast Asian television my primary diet, but how is this trending? And it's trending like number one. Bad Buddy series. By the way, the other day I was talking about K-pop, about how, oh my God, it's like that culture is just all we're seeing with our 13, 14-year-olds. I don't care. I'm not being an old man. I'm not being get off my lawn. I'm just saying, okay, I got whatever. I don't care, but I don't really get it. So we were talking about K-pop, and I said, did you know, like stupidly, did you know that it's like more than one band? It's more than just one band. I really said that. Like, I really just thought that just Boys Town or whatever, BTS? BTS? I thought like that was like the prime one, and then maybe there were a couple of... No! There's like a million of these bands. I looked at like the Billboard pop charts the other day. For the first time in decades, I looked at the Billboard pop charts. It's like all K-pop acts. It's like number one in America, number two in America, number three. It's crazy. How is this song legal? Again, we're supposed to be playing just non-copyrighted music that apparently Joy to the World is hymnal, maybe? Maybe that's why we get in there. All right, so Bad Buddy is trending. Fursuit Friday is trending. Yeah. Not even the birth of our Lord will stop these perverts from dressing up like sports team mascots and then having weird sex in hotel rooms. Jesus' birthday, people. Have a little respect. So Fursuit Friday is trending. God, those people are so weird. They're furries. Furries? I don't even want to go into that whole thing. Ugh. Don't Look Up is trending if you're looking for something to watch over this Christmas holiday weekend. Don't Look Up is the new Adam McKay movie posted on Netflix. Don't Look Up is the story of a couple of scientists who discover a asteroid, meteor, a comet, whatever, man. I'm just giving you the raw basics. Is hurling towards Earth, and it's gonna end all life here. And these scientists get to the president, and the president doesn't believe them, and it's funny. It's all hell breaks loose, literally. Big cast. You got Jennifer Lawrence, you got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got who's the one that's not Seth Rogen? Jonah Hill. You got Jonah Hill. You got Meryl Streep as the president. Adam McKay, who is like awesome at everything. So if you're looking for something, Don't Look Up on Netflix. It looks good. Let's see. Star-studded cast includes Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Timothy Chalamet, Kate Blanchett, Chris Evans, Ariana Grande, and Meryl Streep. So there you go. I'm going to watch it. You know what else I watched? I watched the other night, Being the Ricardos. That's the Aaron Sorkin Amazon Prime movie about Lucy and Ricky. Although I didn't realize until I watched it, it's not about them so much. I mean, their history and there's context that is laid out for you with flashbacks to how they met and where they came from and all that kind of stuff. But the bulk of the movie, Being the Ricardos, takes place over a 1-week period during the production of I Love Lucy. So it's all set within like the same week in probably, I don't know, 1960 something. I don't know. It's black and white. But it just covers like all of the things that were going on in Lucy's life at the time, in addition to, running this show. Okay. The vocalizations are getting a little loud for my liking. Bring them down a little. All right, that's fine. Being the Ricardos, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. But I love that kind of... See, here's what I think. I think you have to, one, like Aaron Sorkin, and I think you also have to be interested in that type of history, entertainment history. Checks both boxes for me, so I enjoyed it. The guy who plays J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, the awesome J.K. Simmons, or is it J.K. Simmons? I don't know. I'm old. I'm going to get some of these wrong. He's older than me, though, so maybe I should concentrate on getting his right. Hey, just be happy I got Timothy Chalamet right. That's worth something. J.K. Simon plays, Fred and Ethel. William Frawley. I almost said William Wallace, but that's the Braveheart guy. He plays William Frawley, who played Fred Mertz, J.K. Simon's, in Being the Ricardos. He's pretty funny. He's pretty cool. I like him. And Vivian Vance is good, too. Javier Bardem, who plays Ricky Ricardo, a.k.a. Desi Arnaz, is awesome. He's really good. He's really good in it. Yeah, I knew all that stuff about Desi Arnaz. Like, I knew that he was not... I think it's easy for people to just think that Desi Arnaz was the Tom Arnold to Lucy's Roseanne, but that was not the case. Desi Arnaz was like a business genius. He built Desilu Studios into like a massive Hollywood production house. Desilu Studios was big. They were super powerful, and that was all Ricky or Desi. And as far as who was it's Nicole Kidman, who plays Lucy. She's fantastic. She's fantastic. Nicole Kidman is fantastic. Shut your mouth about Deborah Messing. Deborah Messing played a character, or she basically just did an imitation of Lucy in a few sketches for Will and Grace. Okay? That's why you love her, because she's got red hair and she could pull off the grape stomping scene or the Vita Vegemite scene. That's why you love Deborah Messing. This was a dramatic role. This took someone with actual real acting chops, and I'm glad Nicole Kidman did it. Nicole Kidman made Lucy cool, and dare I say, sexy. In some ways, I had never in my life looked at Lucille Ball and thought, "Ugh, this is kind of sexy." Nicole Kidman pulls it off. Nicole Kidman makes Lucy very sexy. So there you go. There's a couple of movies that you can watch this weekend if you're looking for it. It's the new one on Prime, Being the Ricardos, and Don't Look Up on Netflix, which is trending right now. Oakbrook has been trending since last night. This is one for me. This is one for me and the people in my neck of the woods in Chicago. Oakbrook Mall was trending last night because there was an active shooter incident that occurred. 4 people were shot. 4 people were shot at the Oakbrook Center Mall yesterday. And it was trending all night. It was developing. The police held a press conference around, 9, 10 o'clock or something like that. And they revealed that it was 2 people had a gunfight. 2 people that knew each other and had beef had a gunfight in the Oakbrook Center Mall. Now, that news made me have a different perspective on it. I went from, okay, good. This isn't just another lunatic trying to light people up on the eve before Christmas Eve. Because you always worry about that. The unspeakable acts of just pure violence that there is no way to wrap your head around. Like, why would somebody just want to cause that much pain for so many people? What was going? See, that those are difficult to understand. So I always fear those. Whatever it is, the shooter. But this one, it turns out it was just, I characterized it as a couple of gangbangers doing it out in Oakbrook Center Mall. And that, to me, I can understand, because I understand the problem of gang violence. Well, I mean, I can't fix it, but I get it. I mean, I saw it. I understand how if you live in a city like Chicago, there are certain neighborhoods you don't go into. And not just because you're white, because you're not in the gang that runs that part of the town. So I get it. That's what I mean. I understand that is an ongoing problem. But the guy who just walks in and lights people up, that troubles me. That's the one that neither are being excused. Understand. I'm talking about trying to watch something like this happen and unfold before your eyes on television and how we process that information. So there was a bit of okay, well, good. At least it's not the crazy guy with the stockpile of guns who just wants to kill people because he's had enough. However, something else happened in the Oakbrook thread, and I want to explain it to you. And this is where I get a little bit provincial, maybe. I mean, I'm from Chicago, so And I understand that Chicago gave the world Hillary Clinton and Barack and Michelle Obama. So, there is a certain political view of that city where they want it to be terrible. So immediately after Oak Brook was revealed to be some form of a shootout, I'll find it for you. So somebody tweeted, and it's funny because he got lit up for it. Somebody trying to get in on the whole, Chicago is a hellhole kind of vibe. This is what happens when, Barack Obama, blah, 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 that whole thing. So somebody tried to get that going by tweeting, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Illinois, Oak Brook Center is in one of the worst neighborhoods of Chicago. This is just another example of a failed city and its liberal leadership. Okay, so it was with that, right? I went with that. For those of you who are not from Chicago, Oak Brook Center is in one of the worst neighborhoods. Okay, so he got lit up hard, and that's why Oak Brook is still trending today. He got lit up hard because Oak Brook is in one of the wealthiest suburbs in Chicago. I mean, Oak Brook Center Mall has a Tesla store, a Tiffany's, a Gucci. I mean, it's not your run-of-the-mill average mall. So here you had somebody trying to create the false narrative that this was taking place in inner city Chicago, and isn't this just typical of that? This took place with the people who left Chicago decades ago to build their big giant houses. Some of the people that, here's some Oak Brook. I've never even heard of Oak Brook Mall, but a quick Google Maps search informed me that it has a Lululemon and an escape room. Sounds really dangerous. Somebody else, my dude, I actually live here, and there is a Peloton store next to an Apple store in that mall. And the restaurant across from them has $15 mules at happy hour, $15 drinks. It's a ghetto bar. I grew up on the mean streets of Oak Brook, Illinois. We used to score crack cocaine at the Crate and Barrel. So it's got a lot of people upset. And we're still recovering from the whole Jussie Smollett thing, which we hope you people feel we dealt with appropriately. Chicago handled that whole Jussie Smollett shit. Give us a little credit for that. Even though there were people within the works of our local government who tried to get him to walk. Kim Fox, looking at you. Okay, also, Scorsese is trending today. Why is Martin Scorsese trending? You know about this beef? He's got beef with Marvel. The Marvel films? So, once, like a year ago, 2 years ago, actually, I think, he was interviewed for a cinema magazine, Martin Scorsese, one of the greatest directors who's ever lived. And he was asked about the current state of Hollywood. And he just talked about how there seemed to be less about creating films and interesting films and more about, and then without even name checking them, he basically described the whole Marvel and DC comic book world of filmmaking and how that's kind of overtaken Hollywood. And he's not necessarily a fan of that. But he doesn't say anything bad. And that's it. That was like 2 years ago. He said that. Martin Scorsese, what do you think he's going to say? He's an 80-year-old art director. I mean, come on, people. What the hell do you expect? And leave him alone. So that's all Martin Scorsese said about it. And for 2 years, man, the Marvel dorks they won't let it go. They are hanging on to this. And Martin Scorsese is like, every once in a while, I'm sure he's reminded, Martin, you're trending again. Oh yeah, what for? Something you said about Marvel. Okay. He doesn't care. You think Martin Scorsese gives a shit what you comic book nerds are all twisted about? But you won't let it go. They won't let it go. And today it's back in because Tom Holland, who is Spider-Man, is now chiming in and getting involved. Tom Holland, the current Spider-Man, and there's a new Spider-Man movie out there that everybody's going crazy about. Tom Holland says, you can ask Martin Scorsese, would you want to make a Marvel movie? But he doesn't know what it's like because he's never made one. I've made Marvel movies, and I've also made movies that have been in Oscar conversations. And the only difference is one costs more. Oh, you're a dummy. That is not the only difference. I mean, I love Marvel movies. I've seen them all. I'm in the process of trying to rewatch all the Marvel movies in their correct order. So don't tell me that they're the same thing as Taxi Driver. They're not. Stop it. Tom Holland getting involved. There's no difference between Transformers 4 and Mean Streets. What? Yeah, there is, man. One movie is soul changing. One movie is like dark and it stays with you forever. And the other one, you're like, who was in that? Who was that? Was that with Shia LaBeouf, or was that the one where Mark Wahlberg got involved? What? I don't even. And I know it's not a Marvel movie, but we're talking about these kinds of movies. There are great. All the Marvel movies are good. All the Marvel movies are really great, man. I've never walked out of a Marvel movie and been like, eh. Actually, that's not true. I didn't really like the Captain America, the first Captain America. I thought that was kind of lame. But Thor Ragnarok, man, that blew my mind. That was awesome. All of the Avengers movies, they blow my mind. Those are awesome. But they're not the same kind of movie as, Raging Bull. They're just not. So stop it. So that's why Scorsese is trending again today. We can exist in a world where both kinds of films are allowed to be. In fact, that's the world I want. All right, Danny McBride, who is Danny McBride, the actor. What's he famous for? Eastbound and Down. He plays that. He's in The Righteous Gemstones. He's great in that. Well, he was on a podcast recently, Kyle Brandt's podcast. I forgot what it's called. Brandt from Good Morning Football does a really great podcast. I don't even know what it's called. But he just basically asks questions of famous people, and they get into conversations. It's like a trivia game. He's asked a quiz question. One of the questions that was asked of Danny McBride was, what 3 HBO characters would you want to go out drinking with? And I thought, man, that is a great... Now, I don't remember. His answer was, I don't know what it was. Tyrion Lannister, Paulie from The Sopranos, and somebody from his show Eastbound and Down. Or maybe it was from Righteous Gemstones. I don't know. But here's the only proper list for this, okay? If you can go out drinking with any of the fictional characters created by HBO Studios over the past 40 years, here are the 3 that you go out drinking with. You go out drinking with Peter Dinklage, who plays Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. He has to be there. He's an alcoholic. He has a lot of money. He pays for everything. And he's funny as hell. Tyrion Lannister. By the way, we're going bar hopping. We're going to run up and down the street. We're going to go into a bunch of places together. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a night. So it's me and Tyrion Lannister. Then Artie from the Larry Sanders Show. You guys remember the Larry Sanders Show? Remember Artie, the producer, Rip Torn, the salty dog? That dude, you want to be out drinking with him. He is a barrel of laughs. And when the shit hits the fan, the old Marine comes out and he wants to fight. He's the guy. For now, he is going to be the guy that's going to start the fight, and you're going to get kicked out of bars. But still, so you got Tyrion Lannister and you got Artie from the Larry Sanders Show. The third guy, this is, I went back and forth on this. I wasn't entirely sure who I wanted. Al Swearingen from Deadwood would be a lot of fun, right? Al Swearingen, the saloon keeper from Deadwood, he'd mix nice with Tyrion Lannister and Artie from the Larry Sanders Show. He'd be awesome. But he's also kind of a dick. So, I want to keep it light. I want to keep it with people who are in their hearts of hearts good people. So my third to go out drinking with is Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm. So my 3 drinking buddies, if I could create any group of running pals from HBO shows, they are Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. They are Artie, the producer from the Larry Sanders Show. And they are Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm. And there are no other acceptable lists. Yeah, looked at Lucy was smoking hot. Okay, so Jeff is talking about how I admitted that I actually think that Kim what's her name? Nicole Kidman made Lucy hot. Well, Jeff, she may have been always an attractive woman. It's just that my entire experience with her she's been an old lady. She's been a funny old lady on TV who at no point in my life had I looked at her as a sexual being until Kim Kardashian. She'd make a great Lucy until Nicole Kidman played her. And that's when I finally went, oh, okay. Speaking of Tyrion Lannister, look at this. Peter Dinklage is trending today. That's right. The character, Tyrion Lannister, played by the actor Peter Dinklage. Why is he trending? Well, here's why. And this is interesting because I remember when this happened. They tried to cancel him a few years back. I don't know if you remember. HBO made a movie called My Dinner with Hervé. And it was an account of an actual dinner that took place between a magazine writer and the famed tattoo from Fantasy Island, Hervé Villechaize. And it was a pretty fun movie. Again, you have to like this kind of movie. If you don't like the Hollywood history genre or, behind the scenes thing, then it's not for you. But it was interesting. So Peter Dinklage played Hervé Villechaize in this movie. Now, everybody went nuts because why would you cast a white man to play Hervé Villechaize when there are so many other... Okay, first of all, and this was mind-blowing. This is me now. This is not Dinklage talking, but his response was great. What is Hervé Villechaize? Look. Are you going to tell me you know that he's not a white man? Hervé Villechaize is not a white man? You're sure of that? I'll be honest with you. I always thought that he was, like from the islands. Like maybe he could be from the Latin islands. He could be from somewhere. He could be from Hawaii. From that, he could be. Maybe he's Samoan. I had no idea. So when the movie comes out, the producers and mostly Peter Dinklage gets hammered because, why is a white man playing what should be a minority role, blah, blah, blah. And Dinklage never said anything. He just shut his mouth and he let the story pass because it does. They do, unless, there's a criminal investigation. The stories pass. People just get mad at you for a couple of days and they move on. So he's talked about it now for the first time and he says, cancel culture critics were wrong to take issue with the portrayal of Fantasy Island star Hervé Villechaize in the 2018 film because Hervé Villechaize is white, actor Peter Dinklage said recently. Dinklage, one of the stars of Game of Thrones, spoke out on a recent blah, blah, blah. Dinklage slammed politically correct critics as being politically wrong for saying he, a New Jersey-born white man, should not have accepted the role of Hervé Villechaize. Dinklage added that many of his critics mistakenly believed, now this is what I believe, I guess a Polynesian one, mistakenly believed that Villechaize was Asian because of his appearance, when the late actor was actually a Frenchman. Hervé Villechaize. And now you hear him talk, he's talking French. I just assumed it was like some Caribbean accent, some South. I never, until just now, oh my God, he's speaking with a French accent. That guy isn't at all what I thought he was. And apparently, he looks the way he looks because, and he has the same, Peter Dinklage has the same thing, we'll call it. I don't know, handicap, I guess it would be. Dwarfism. They suffer from the same thing. And Dinklage goes on to explain, this happens a lot with dwarfisms, where features, the outward features, are altered because of the dwarfism, because of, he goes on to explain, I don't want to explain, it's boring, but whatever. So everybody who yelled at Peter Dinklage about, why would you accept the role of this minority actor? You are a white man from New Jersey. Peter Dinklage is now going, you guys are the racists. You guys are the ones. You just looked at him, judged him by his appearance, and decided he was a minority. He's actually a Frenchman. His mother's a blonde. Yeah, Hervé Villechaize, Jeff Glenn, was French. So you go get him, Peter Dinklage. We'll talk about it when we go out drinking. What else is trending today? What else we got? Oh, Steven Seagal. Yeah, Steven Seagal is trending. This is a good one. You know why Steven Seagal is trending? Because his wife, ex-wife, Kelly LeBrock. Remember Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science? Woo, man, was she a special kind of lady. Woo. She was great. And she was with that dumbass, Steven Seagal, Steven Seagal's a dumbass. She was with him for 10 years. She's talking about it. Obviously, their kids are grown. There is no need for Kelly LeBrock to ever cross paths with her ex-husband, Steven Seagal, again. Their 3 daughters are fully grown. There are no more handoffs. There are no more shared weekends. She does not have to say another thing to him face-to-face in her life if she doesn't want. And, that freedom has her talking some shit. So Kelly LeBrock on her ex-husband, Steven Seagal. You ready for this? It's got God. Now I want to see a movie about Kelly LeBrock and Steven Seagal's tumultuous relationship. I could care less about Pam and Tommy. I want Kelly LeBrock and Steven Seagal. Kelly LeBrock has shared that she feels sorry for her ex-husband, Steven Seagal, who she cuttingly called a tragedy of Hollywood. Oh, your ex-wife feels sorry for you. Oh my God. The Weird Science actress, age 61, was married to controversial screen star Seagal, 69, between 1987 and 1996. So 6, 7, 8, 9 years. They share 3 children, daughters, Annalisa, 34, Arisa, 28, and Dominic, a son, 31. Yeah, so they're grandparents. They don't have to see each other anymore if they don't want to. And with Seagal hitting the headlines in recent years for multiple accusations of sexual misconduct and his staunch support of Russian President Vladimir Putin, he's like a total Putin puppet. LeBrock said that she now sees the man she once married as a very sad person. I feel sorry for him, the actress told Page Six. I think that he's just a very sad person, and he is what I would call a tragedy of Hollywood. She then added, I believe he was very bullied as a child, very sickly, very weak. And I guess people who are treated that way as children end up becoming lost as they age. I wish him all the best. Ooh! 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 She knows how to push his buttons, boy. That is a woman that was married to an insensitive animal, an insecure freak show for almost a decade. She knows exactly what buttons to push. I wasn't bullied as a child. It's probably a bedwetter. I'm surprised she didn't add that. I feel sorry for the man. He's just a very, very sad person. And he's what I would call a tragedy of Hollywood. I believe he was very bullied as a child. That is something that she's either making up out of whole cloth and she knows she can get away with it because people like me will go, well, she was married to him for 9 years. I bet you at some point he got deep. At some point he shared something. So maybe it's true. Oh, that's a good one. I believe he was very bullied as a child, very sickly, very weak. And I guess people who are treated that way as children end up becoming lost as they age. But I wish him the best. Yeah, tell him I said hi. I will never see that fuck show again, ever. Action movie star Steven Seagal has been accused of sexual assault and sexual misconduct over the years, including by actresses Jenny McCarthy, Portia de Rossi, I want to work, and Juliana Margulies, as well as Inside Edition correspondent Lisa Guerrero. Yeah, I guess you can't canceled, I mean, like, I've wondered, like, why hasn't this, because I've read a whole, I'm an anti-Steven Seagal hobbyist, I guess you could call it. I've read like all of his stuff. I've watched all the documentaries. He's crazy. He's fun. He's hysterically weird. Steven Seagal is. I'm trying to find something else here. All right, never mind. We don't need to. He's just weird. He's just the stories that surround his activity back when it was all right to play grab ass in the 80s and 90s. The stuff that he did is like really bad stuff. But like at what point? I guess if it's not criminal, that's the only way that it would really. If it's not completely criminal or obviously criminal, it won't trend. And what are you going to take away from Steven Seagal? People like me, my ability to talk shit from the sidelines. I mean, that's really the only thing that Steven Seagal, right? I mean, it's not like he's starring in movies, touring comedy clubs. He's not. He's just out there being Steven Seagal. Chinese McDonald's is trending. You want to see why? Check this out. This is pretty cool. Hold on. Get rid of this one. This is why the Chinese are going to beat us. This is why ultimately the Chinese are going to win, people. We would never have this. You're going to see. I'll show you. So this is what McDonald's, Chinese McDonald's is trending. And this is why. Look at this. You see what's going on in this McDonald's? All right, watch this. Like treadmill. You sit at the McDonald's, you eat your trash, and then you get like a little treadmill workout in. Would you do that? Would you? First of all, I don't eat at McDonald's. And I don't know if the promise of a workout is really the mindset that I'm in when I'm walking into a McDonald's. If I'm eating in a McDonald's, it's because I'm in between things and I need to eat. And even then, I would probably eat in my car. I don't, there's something, I used to go to McDonald's and I used to sit there when I was looking for work and I would drink, because coffee's like free refills at the McDonald's I went to. And they got internet access and the bathrooms are pretty clean. And it's way cheaper than Starbucks. But I would go to McDonald's and I would just sit there. And the people that go in and eat at McDonald's, I know I was one of them, but I was working. I'd have all my stuff out on the day. It was actually nice. It was a nice little office. The people that would come in, it's very depressing, like a bunch of lonely old people coming in, eating McDonald's by themselves. So I don't really go inside and eat at McDonald's. But look at this, the Chinese. They got that going on. I don't know if that would work here. I'm telling you, man, they're getting their people in shape for the war that's coming. I'm telling you. Their cardio is going to be so much better than ours. Oh my God, you have no idea. All right, Chinese McDonald's. Okay, here's a rough one. This is an interesting one that's happening right now. DeShazer Elliott is the safety for the Washington Redskins. He's also the captain of their special teams unit. He was involved in a car accident last night, and nobody's really sure how he is, although he's in, I see it now, critical condition with non-life-threatening injuries. The passenger that he was with in the car is dead, so it was pretty bad. Washington football team safety DeShazer Everett was injured in a car crash, and a passenger in his car died, the team announced this morning. Washington football team says, "We've been made aware of an automobile accident last night involving DeShazer Everett," the team said in a statement. "A passenger in his vehicle lost their life, and we extend our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who lost a loved one. DeShazer is currently in the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who has been affected by this tragedy. Our team has alerted the league office and is working with local authorities as we continue to gather information. We will have no further comment at this time," says the Washington football team. I mean, look, we're coming off Henry Ruggs, that son of a bitch with the Las Vegas Raiders, who killed that girl at a stoplight when he was drunk and driving. And so I guess what I'm saying is I don't have a whole lot of faith in this investigation turning up anything that is going to make me think better of NFL players. I guess that's the safest way to say it. Look, it's winter. I don't know what road conditions are. He had a fast car. He was in our fast car, Nissan GTR or something, whatever. And slick roads slide off. Look at this power, baby. He's got a girl in the car with him. Look at this. He floors it, hits a corner, strikes some ice, and suddenly he's airborne, heading into some trees. All right, that's rough. Here's another one that's rough, and I saved these for the middle of the show because I wanted to get a little bit of good energy going before we got into these horrible things. But LAPD is trending today. Why is LAPD trending? Because, well, something really terrible happened last night. Did you hear about this? And, it happened on the day that Kim Potter, the police officer from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, was convicted, and not sentenced yet, but she's looking at jail time, was convicted of accidentally killing Dante Wright. She didn't intend to kill him. Her intention wasn't, it was a believable accident. And I really thought she was going to get off. I really thought that, they were going to say this is an accident, but they didn't. They convicted her. And so, she's now on that life path. But many people, myself included, believe that was an obvious accident. And we have to draw a distinction between bad cops who are just willing to put someone down and a cop who is poorly trained, screwed up, not possibly in her right mind, and makes a tragic and deadly mistake. I make a distinction between those two things, and I think it's important that everybody else does, but who am I? Who am I to tell you how to think about it? So last night in LA, police were looking for someone who was involved in an assault earlier in the day, and they found him in a Burlington coat factory. Packed Burlington coat factory. Oh my God. 2 days before Christmas. Burlington coat factory. Jeez. Jam-packed. Cop spots the suspect they were looking for, and some shit goes down, and the suspect apparently had a bike lock on a chain. That was the weapon he was using. And the cops shot at him. They pulled their guns out and they shot at him. And like I said, man, Burlington Coat Factory, 2 days before Christmas, there are people everywhere. And of course, a 14-year-old girl trying on a quinceanera dress in a dressing room was struck by a stray bullet fired by one of the LAPD, and she's dead. The guy with the bike lot, he's fine. He's going to be fine. But a little girl, 14 years old, trying on a dress, she's dead. Law enforcement said there was a mass shooting. Oh, yeah, here's why LAPD is taking some garbage. It was originally put out by the LAPD that it was a mass shooting, and they went into mass shooting protocols. But then very shortly after that, they drew it back and just said, oh, yeah, well, it was us. It wasn't a mass shooting. It was actually us. This is a bad one, man. This is a really bad one. On the day that another cop was convicted of a tragic accident, and I believe this was a tragic accident. This was not, he didn't say, I can see the 14-year-old girl in the dressing room right there. I'm going to put her down. No, this was a dumb cop firing off rounds in a very crowded Burlington coat factory 2 days before Christmas, and somebody got killed. Should he be a cop anymore? No. Should he go on trial? I guess now. Right? We've got precedent. Kim Potter. and maybe he should. I mean, how was this guy? This is a bad cop. This is not a bad cop as like, those bad detective movies from Harvey Keitel or whatever. Not like bad, just like an incompetent cop who should not be pulling out a gun against a guy who has a bike lock in a crowded Burlington coat factory and then squeezing off a few rounds, enough so that, one goes so straight, goes through a dressing room where a little girl is in, a little 14-year-old girl. So that's why LAPD is trending. Not enough information to have a whole cognitive opinion on this, but developing as they say, ... James Franco is also trending. James Franco. Who doesn't love James Franco? Well, a bunch of his students don't love him. James Franco is the guy who is constantly racking up degrees. He's a movie star, but he's also a student at like Harvard and then NYU, and he's a professor at another school. He's part of his brand is that he just keeps learning, man. I'm gonna study for the rest of my life. I'm always going to be a student. I'm always going to have degrees. I'm always going to. So he's like that guy. And one of the other things that James Franco, Hollywood heartthrob movie star, did out there in Hollywood, he started his own acting school, which is rare because typically the acting classes that you get offered to there, they're from people who you remember from a couple episodes of Blossom when you were little, but they aren't big stars. They ain't James Franco. So he opens up this acting school, James Franco, and certainly there's a line of people just waiting to learn at the master, James Franco, who I do think is really funny. I do think he's very funny. Pineapple Express, he's very funny. The Interview, he's very funny. I mean, I don't know if he's a great actor. I don't know. I guess he was in that movie where he got his arm pinned between a rock. Remember the guy who gnawed off his own arm or something? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. It's 121 hours or something. He was supposed to have been good in that. Won't see it. Don't need to see it. I don't need that experience in my mind. I've got enough awful actually lived. I earned these awful experiences that I have in my mind. I don't need to know what it looks like to have my arm pinned behind a boulder for 121 hours while I decide the best way to amputate my arm. No, don't need that. So I guess he was good in that. But he started an acting school, and then, it goes on for a couple of years, and then a bunch of girls in the Me Too era come out and say, well, he had sex with me. He was my acting teacher. And he's like, I did. He's apologized recently. He said, I knew it was wrong, or I now know it was wrong. At the time, I just thought, hey, we're all young, consenting adults. I mean, none of these were sexual assaults. These were all James Franco after acting class. James Franco, movie star acting. James Franco. After acting class, going to a girl, hey, let's go have a drink. And she goes and has a drink with them. And then they get drunk. And he puts the moves on them. And he takes them home and has sex with them. Like every other good-looking guy in every bar in America that isn't James Franco. James Franco's also a big movie star. And I would go home with him. I would want to see his house. So he's having sex with some of his students, which is not a proper thing to do. But I can see why he was like, I'm a movie star. I sleep with a lot of girls. Haven't you seen Entourage? Don't you know how this works? So he said it was wrong that he was having sex with some of his students. He understands that now. He didn't really see himself as he thought of himself as one of them, one of the group. Now he sees that he was an influence of somebody, the guy who ran the school. So he feels bad about that. He says, look, I'll admit I did sleep with students. I didn't sleep with anybody in that particular class, but over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and I now know that was wrong. So that's what he says about it. But that ain't good enough. That ain't good. That's why he's trending again today. It's not good enough. I don't know. James Franco. It's BS if you ask the attorneys of two different law firms who are representing lawsuits on behalf of students, including Sarah Tither Kaplan, who attended Studio 4, which was Franco's school. A rep from the firm tells us, in addition to being blind about power dynamics, Franco is completely insensitive to and still apparently does not care about the immense pain and suffering he put his victims through with this sham of an acting school. First of all acting schools are shams. All acting is a sham. If you are a good natural actor, you do not need a lesson. I know people who are lifelong actors and actresses, and some of them have taken classes. Others are just naturals, never taken a class in their life. The whole idea that someone can teach you how to be an actor, you can learn techniques, but then if you don't naturally have it, forget about it. You're never going to make it. So don't single this school out as being the acting school scam. They're all scams. This one is probably less of a scam because the guy, the titular head of the Studio 4 acting school, acting company, is an actual A-list actor who's, like I said, acting schools are always run by somebody who played 3 episodes in Chips in the 70s. And you're like, oh yeah, you were that guy from Chips. I remember when I was little. That's typically who you get. This one, you're getting James Franco. So if you're calling this a scam, then you're calling everything a scam. During the interview, Franco denied having any master plan to have sex with students. He claimed he had no role in selecting them for his class and didn't start the school intending to bed his students. And that's infuriating to women like his accusers, story goes on to say. I don't know, man. Again, I draw a distinction between rapists like Harvey Weinstein and James Franco, who wasn't a rape. He's a good-looking, moneyed, charming celebrity. He could probably convince just about any woman who is comfortable with her sexuality to sleep with him. That's not, I mean, it's not the same thing as what Bill Cosby did. Or flat out saying, if you sleep with being some like gross slug like Harvey Weinstein, if you sleep with me, I'll give you a career. I just see this as different. I just see this as different. Okay, so he's a dickhead guy. He's a dickhead, good-looking guy who can bang pretty much any girl he wants. He can walk into any bar in America and he can walk out with the hottest bartender there because he's just got that thing. Those people exist. We know these kinds of people. And, none of them are James Franco. Again, so James Franco is that guy with the added benefit of being James Franco, which, if you don't think that's creating a monster, but not a rapist. I mean, a sexual ego that is probably unfulfillable at the very least. I mean, so I don't know. So I don't know. I guess we are in the era where wronged women, who get ghosted or whatever after they have a one-night stand with a guy. I guess those guys are now in trouble. I mean, there's a lot of sons and grandsons going to jail if that's the case now. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as what Bill Cosby did. It's not the same thing as what Harvey Weinstein did. It's not the same thing as, I don't know, probably any number of gross Hollywood dudes who ran a casting couch. And they all did. But James Franco's like desirable, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just questioning whether or not I can't be victim blaming because I'm not entirely sure these are victims in the way that I like to apply the term victims to but we'll move on. UPS. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Here's what I want. All right, y'all in the chat room, I need you to be watching this one. This is going to be a class participation, okay? Here, we're going to look at this. I'm going to pull this up. Hold on. All right. All right, we'll move that back. Very good. All right, now I want you to watch this, and let's see if we can figure out from this clip what's happening here, okay? All right, here we go. I will ask you in the chat room if you're participating right now, and if you can, tell me what is happening in this video that we are about to watch, okay? Here's the video. What's happening here? Okay, we got a UPS guy. Back of his truck is open. A couple of people wearing masks. They seem to have pulled him over or pulled behind him. And they seem to be taking UPS packages. He seems to be helping them. What else is going on here? Oh my God, look at all of the packages. All right, so if you're in the chat room and you're watching this, can you tell me what's going on here? Because I'll tell you, I saw it and I got it all wrong. I saw it, and I'll tell you, the programmed little bit of racism that is in every white man, and I believe there's a little bit in all of us. I got to fight against it. Oh, that little closeted bit of racism that all us white men have. It came up. Here's what I saw. I saw a UPS man being robbed in broad daylight by a bunch of people who are just stealing packages. That's what I saw. Look at that. Look at them. They pulled him over. But that's not what's going on at all. That's why I'm like, oh shit, that was a racist way of viewing this. I totally allowed myself to fall victim to that. This is apparently something that goes on all the time with UPS in particular. They have neighborhood helpers who are freelancers, who a truck will pull over, and then people who drive their own cars, they're independent contractors, fill up their cars with other stuff that are going to that particular neighborhood, and UPS is able to cover, 2-3 times as much. So that's what's happening here. And it's been explained by UPS themselves. The UPS company said, no, what you are looking at are people who are independent contractors to UPS. We do this in a lot of neighborhoods. Oh, that was a That was, and then people are like, yeah, I go, I got a UPS package the other day. Dude was driving a pickup truck. It's whatever. UPS now contracts drivers who use their own vehicles. It could also be supervisor taking packages to a different driver. Yeah, and those were all of the things that were mentioned by UPS themselves in this thread. But it starts out with people like, this is just, look at these animals. This is just unbelievable crime. This is what the liberal media get. You had that for about 15 people. And then suddenly there was the UPS reaction. And then everybody was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a guy, he delivered in a red Kia yesterday. It was a UPS package. Oh, yeah, this happens at somebody else in the parking lot across the street from my house. They meet up 3 times a day and they unload. But I looked at that and I thought the worst. I thought the worst. You did too. I know you did. All right, so that's why we got the UPS trending. Let's see, what else do we have here? Welcome to the Christmas Eve show. It's just me telling you about stuff that's trending. Okay. So here's a little something we can talk about. We're gonna probably end the show a little bit early today. Maybe we'll see. But I did want to talk about this. So this is Grandma Karen is trending. Grandma Karen. Okay, you understand? Maybe your name's Karen, or maybe she is a Karen. I don't know. But here's the story. A grandmother has sparked debate and discussion online after giving her grandson's black wife a lavish Christmas present accompanied by a controversial note. Oh no, grandson's got a black wife and here comes grandma. Here's grandma's first Christmas gift to her black, what is that? Granddaughter-in-law? In a post titled Xmas Present from My Very Karen Grandma to My African American Wife, a Reddit user posing under the handle The Alchemist shared a picture of the luxurious gift given to his wife this year. It shows a set of black pearls resting inside a black leather box. Black pearls. That's a good gift. This is not like, here's a lifetime subscription to a watermelon farm. It wasn't like, oh, grandma, no. It wasn't that. This is a nice gift. This is black pearls. Hold on, getting some texts. Mr. Popular. Oh, isn't that nice? My son, just my son's mother inviting me to Christmas. How nice is that? That's wonderful. I have Christmas plans though, but I appreciate it. See, we can be adults through the most difficult of divorces or breakups. We can be adults. It's all for the kid. Merry Christmas, everyone. All right, so in a title posted, Christmas present from my very Karen grandma to my African-American wife, a Reddit poster using the name blah, 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 showed the gift was a set of black pearls resting inside a black leather box. According to Pearl Lang, black pearls, or Tahitian pearls, are considered the most exotic variety of pearl, and they originate from a black-lipped oyster known as the Pinkara Margarita Terra Comongi. I bailed on trying to pronounce that properly about a third of the way through. Indigenous to French Polynesia and Fiji, the Sea of Cortez, and the Cook Islands, black pearls can range in price from $200 for a low-quality pearl set all the way up to $36,000 for a fine one. To put it plainly, this was a very special gift. So once again, this is old grandma getting a Christmas gift for her granddaughter-in-law who's black. The new black person in the family. You just know that's how grandma categorizes it in her brain. However, the source of contention for the original poster wasn't so much his grandma's generosity, but rather the handwritten note that she included alongside the gift. It says here, like my black pearls, this is grandma's note. Like my black pearls, rare and of great value, the note reads. You are the black pearls of the family. Love you, Karen. I mean, you can see why the controversy is raging and why Grandma is being brutalized as an old racist who just needs to die already. That's a wonderful note. That is a beautiful note. That is an absolutely gorgeous note and a truly thoughtful. It turns out also, you read on, she didn't buy those at a store. Those were hand-me-downs from her grandma to her. And now here she is, like 80 years old. She's giving the new daughter-in-law, the granddaughter-in-law, she's handing down these family black pearls. And then she gives her a note. Black pearls are like the rarest and most expensive of all of the pearls in the pearl family, just as you are now the black pearl. What? Because she referenced her skin color? So what? That's an obvious thing. That's not just because you acknowledge that somebody has a different skin color than white doesn't mean that you're a racist. That's a beautiful, beautiful note. Black wife, black pearls, black pearls. I'm seeing a theme. Yes, of course. And it was, the way a grandma would do it. But this is an 80-year-old woman. That anybody who doubts the sincerity and the love and the thoughtfulness and the kindness behind that, you're broken. You're a terrible person who is absolutely looking for the worst in every situation. It's beautiful. I will read you the note again. Like my black pearls, which I am handing now down to you. Like my black pearls, rare and of great value, you are the black pearls of the family. Love you, Karen. Come on! Can you believe that's controversial? Seriously, people are all dragging Grandma Karen, who to me, we should all have a Grandma Karen. First of all, it's a kick-ass gift. So just on pure gift value, this is not, a gift certificate to Starbucks. These are some black freaking pearls. That's something in and of itself. Then you add on top of that the family heirloom value and the idea behind handing it down, welcoming you into the family. You are now the keeper of this. Nothing says welcome to the family more like me putting you as the old grandma in charge of this particular family thing. So there's that. And then the note, she even said, love you, Karen. I guess her name really is Karen. So maybe people are just like, well, it's so perfect. Grandma Karen. Leave her alone. Leave Grandma alone. The grandma's choice of words saw the picture garner plenty of attention. At the time of writing, the post had been upvoted more than 45,000 times on Reddit alone. People were, for the most part, conflicted by the generous present and, at best, poorly worded note that came with it. Those are the words she uses. Those are the words that this old lady in her 90 years or whatever it's been on this planet, those are the words that she has become accustomed to using. There has to be an intent behind the way we use words. Simply pointing out that she's black is not a racial statement. What's the intent? Well, the intent is to say, oh, you're black. Well, but what's behind that? I don't know. A couple of gin martinis? I have no idea what's behind that. Leave Grandma alone. She gave her a really nice present. Big Tobacco, he's one of the people who responded here. Bless her heart, Grandma's trying. The delivery needs a little work, but she's trying. Yeah, Grandma's trying, man. I think she meant well, another person says. I think she meant well, and that's an amazing gift. If the pearls are real, then it's super expensive. I think the delivery could have been a bit better. She's probably in her 80s. It's very sweet. Actually telling the wife she's valuable and rare and passing down an heirloom while she's at it. I mean, come on! I don't know who you people are that have a problem with this kind of thing. It's beautiful. All right, we'll move on from that. Christmas music has worked out pretty nice. I kind of like it. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything? Yeah, we do all this. We did all this. We did the Chinese McDonald's. We talked about Dinklage. Hervé Villachet. Anything I missed? We got Scorsese. the Oak Brook shooting. All right, let's jump over and let's see if there's anything new trending to get into right now. Let's use Google today since we've been leaning kind of hard on Twitter when we do these. Wait. Hold on. There we go. All right. And again, these are just going to be things that would be trending differently than from an hour and a half ago when I first signed on. Christmas Eve is trending. White Christmas is trending. I don't think it's going to be a white Christmas anywhere. I don't. I said that months ago. I said, you know what? There are way fewer white Christmases than I think we actually understand. And I recognize this because for the last 6 Christmases, I've been in Chicago and my son has been coming from Texas. So I've been wanting there to be snow on the ground for him. And more times than not, there wasn't. I don't remember. I'm maybe 1 in 6 years, white Christmas. I don't know. Belarus hockey is trending. No need to talk about that. Domino's Pizza is trending. Why? Apparently they've got some Christmas Eve hours. Oh my God. Now, Christmas Eve is a pizza night. It's a big, big pizza night, especially where I come from. Woo, if you're delivering pizzas on a Christmas Eve, you're going to make a couple $100 easy. Everybody has people over, and what do? They cook? Maybe they make some hors d'oeuvres, some pigs in a blanket, something like that. But really, ain't nobody going to put a whole meal together. You're going to order 10 pizzas. I feel sorry for people who have to just order 10 Domino's pizzas because you don't have other good pizza places. But that's why Domino's is trending, because everybody is trying to get the Domino's pizza menu straight. What time do they close? Are they open until late? Most pizza restaurants in Chicago be open to like 10, 11 o'clock tonight. They want your business. Standing in NFL Christmas Day. Why does the NFL play on Christmas Day? Well, why not? Because there's people standing around. There's got to be something to watch. Why not sell them commercials during NFL football? There's nothing else. Christmas Day cocktail. What's that? Let's toast 7 Christmas cocktails. Oh, should we look at this? Some Christmas cocktails, maybe give you an idea for tonight. Okay. All right, let's toast. Let's see here. What do they got here? Is there a list? How about a rosemary paloma? 1.5 ounces of tequila. 5 ounces of pamplemousse. Okay, I'm out. Jesus. All right, never mind. You know what? Just pour some whiskey in a glass of eggnog. Just be normal, okay? You don't need to put anybody through these ridiculous heavy lifting of cocktail ideas. You get some eggnog, maybe a little brandy. That's good too. A little bit of blueberry brandy or something like that with your cup of eggnog. You pour it in there. It's going to be weird because the alcohol mixes with the eggnog weird at first, but then just drink that. That's fine. Or how about this? How about a glass of beer? How about a beer? We got beer in the refrigerator. I can get you a beer. You want to do a shot? We can do shots. I got all kinds of whiskeys. Let's do shots. But no, stop with these crazy Christmas drinks. Don't set your bar that high. Don't put that pressure on the host. Drink a beer, glass of wine, do a shot. The most exotic you're allowed to get is, like I said, eggnog with some brandy or some whiskey or something in it. Yeah, Jeff Glenn says whiskey in a glass with some ice. That's pretty much the way to go. I used to never put ice in my whiskey. I used to drink room temperature Irish whiskey, 2 fingers in a rocks glass, but with no rocks. I can't do that anymore. I need ice cubes. I need some ice cubes now. I'm at the point in my life where I am done trying to look like James Bond. Nobody, well, I know he doesn't drink that anymore, but I'm trying to look like a cool guy drinker. Forget about it. Fill my cup with ice and then pour 2 fingers of Jameson over that. And that's it. And I'll sip on that for 2 hours. And I'll also have a beer. I'll have a cold beer at the same time because that's doing the heavy lifting, the conversational heavy lifting when you're having to talk with somebody in a setting like this and you need to pause. So you drink. That's how you let the other person know it's their turn to talk. And then when I do the whiskey, that means I'm going to let you expand on that because the whiskey is a much longer process. It's a beer is like this. A beer is... Yeah. I see what you're saying. Whereas whiskey is more like... See, there's a distinction there between, conversation techniques. So I have a beer always, and then I also have a glass of scotch or whiskey. It's Irish whiskey, but whatever. If people want to call it scotch, that's fine. I'm not going to correct you. Hot chocolate and Baileys. Yeah, Baileys is good too. My mom makes bootleg Baileys. People seem to like that. She's been doing it for like 30 years. She's like bathtub Baileys. That's what she should call it. She should call it Grandma's bathtub Baileys. It's good. It's real good. A lot of people say they like it better, but it probably is better because for small batches, she probably uses the super best ingredients. Whereas Bailey's, they got a big factory. They got they're not doing everything by hand. So I can see why it would be better. All right, I think we're gonna call it. There really ain't much going on here. All right, you know what? I'll check Twitter. I'll check see if there's anything good on Twitter. Anything new popping up on Twitter that we can talk about. Yeah, we're not talking about COVID-19, just so we're clear. We all know about COVID-19. It's back. It's bad. It's in a mood. Darren Collison. The Lakers are planning to sign Darren. Do we care? Fursuit Friday. Hanging in there, hanging tough in the top 5 trends on Twitter, man. These perverts in their cosplay furry outfits. On the birth of are you kidding me? On this, the holiest of days. Sources. The Mets intend on placing Jeff McNeil on the trading block. Apple walkout. Apple workers to stage a walkout on Christmas Eve. Really? Why not stage a walkout 2 days before Christmas? That would probably have been more effective. This is a feckless attempt. You're walking out on Christmas Eve. Dude, the bulk of the money has been made by Apple over the course of the last 10 days, and certainly the last 3 days. It's pretty much just people doing last minute shit now. But you go ahead. You do you, Apple workers. You do your walkout. 5 minutes before close on Christmas Eve. Is that when you're doing it? Dummies. Bojangles restaurant is trending. Many react to a viral video of voice actor Stefan Johnson rating popular fast food fried chicken. I had fried chicken last night. I allow myself fried chicken every so often. And the only fried chicken that I will eat when I have my fried chicken craving is Kentucky Fried Chicken. What, Pugs? You don't like Popeyes? Now, look, I know I've said it. Kentucky Fried Chicken, they're like tiny pieces of chicken. I don't know where they're raising these miniature chickens, but Kentucky Fried has the market cornered on dwarf chickens because the breasts are like this big. Meanwhile, you go to like Popeyes and the breast is like this big, and that's all well and good. But why do I continue to go to KFC? Because their original recipe in the 11 herbs and spices is freaking delicious. That's why. It's just better. I know it's smaller, and I don't know if it's how they cook it or what, but did you ever get like a Kentucky Fried Chicken bone in your mouth and you bite down on it and you're like, oh my God, that bone wasn't solid at all. That bone is actually chewy. That bone, oh my God. You can't choke on a Kentucky Fried Chicken bone. I don't believe you can. I believe you'll just chew it up. And I think it's because of the way it's made. Like it's all like, and it comes apart the way a piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken just comes apart. It's all juicy. And so don't get me started. I'm gonna have me some leftover Kentucky Fried Chicken for lunch as soon as we sign off here. But apparently Bojangles is trending because people are saying Bojangles is the best fried chicken joint. I don't know from Bojangles. Never been. Let's see. Chat room Jeff says, speaking of COVID, my number one went to the Mavs game Thursday or Friday and his truck got stolen. Stepdad went and picked him up. Stepdad just tested positive for Omicron. My kids can't come to Christmas. Womp womp. Nobody else does a version of original recipe. Everyone does crispy. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, whatever. I don't know if you're agreeing with me or not, Jeff. As long as we can stand firmly the original recipe, that's a flavor. And I don't eat a lot of fried chicken. So maybe like once every 6 months when I get fried chicken, I get the one I want. I get the flavor that I like. Been eating a lot of this Nashville hot chicken. E and his kid, they're like trying to sample every restaurant in DFW that has Nashville hot chicken. So I've been exposed to a lot of Nashville hot chicken. And that's different. That's not like fried chicken. It's a different category. They're like tenders and they're spicy. It's a totally different thing. Okay, so Bojangles, Blake Bortles. Apparently, the signs are signing Blake Bortles. Die Hard is trending because some of the least interesting among us are forcing us to all hear their opinion that Die Hard's a Christmas movie. My favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. See how interesting I am? Because that's like one you wouldn't expect. And I'm saying it because I'm interesting like that. Stop doing that. Stop with the Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Okay? Okay. Let's move on. Don't ever repeat that. Stop it. We've all heard it enough. It is set at Christmas, but it is not a Christmas movie, and you're just being an asshole. Oh, so exhausting. Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than Love Actually. No, it's not. Christmas is about love and joy and being together and finding happiness. That is not at all what Die Hard is about, and that is absolutely what Love Actually is about. So shut up with your Die Hard. These are the very same people who will, over the course of the next, what do we got here, 6-7 days? Over the course of the next 6-7 days, will come up to you and say, thank God 2021's over, huh? Worst year ever. Wouldn't want to relive that. That's the same guy. That's the same guy. Mr. Die Hard's a Christmas movie is also the, this year's going to suck. Last year was so bad. Worst year ever, right, man? Let's hope we don't do that again. Ugh, you're so boring. Such a bore. Let's see what else. Apparently, some member of BTS, Yoongi, also known as Suga, he's got COVID. He's always trending. Welcome to Texas is trending. Welcome to Texas trends often. It's like, it's always like, you could get a gun at Walmart, but your daughter can't get an abortion. Welcome to Texas. It's like that kind of shit. So I always avoid the welcome to Texas. Although it seems it's trending today because Welcome to Texas has started to catch on as Beto O'Rourke's campaign slogan, which I think, and not officially, but in this thread, there are a bunch of people that are using it to show their support for Beto O'Rourke, which is really kind of brilliant. If Beto O'Rourke wants to position himself and remind people that he is a Texan and he is pro-Texas and he, representing maybe what people in Connecticut, when they conjure an image of the typical Texan, that person probably doesn't seem even remotely like a Beto O'Rourke. So for him to be now using the I'm Beto O'Rourke, welcome to Texas, as like, that's interesting. It's interesting. It's like how in recent months, do you remember how the far right and the radical right had somehow, they'd ran off with the right to use the American flag for anything? Like if you had if you were on like Facebook or Twitter or something like that, and you were going to say some crazy far right stuff, you would always have like the American flag emoji, like in your thing. And then suddenly all the people on the left started using the American flag too. And now it's just a mishmash of, lefty crazies with the American, which I like. I like that. But the same thing might be happening with Beto O'Rourke trying to abscond with the Welcome to Texas line. That'd be an interesting. I could make a case to his people. Beto, if your people want to talk to me, you want to hire me as like some sort of a branding official, I would be more than interested in having those conversations with you. I think Welcome to Texas, you could run with that. Madden 22 is trending. I don't know what that is. I just know it's something that my kid is like super into. Mattingly, Fetty, Arnold. There's nothing else trending. We ran out of gas. And you ran out of gas too. Smaller than usual crowd today, but that's okay. I understand it's a different day. It's a different kind of day. I don't think we're going to do any John Hinckley. I think we'll just let the show roll out with a little Christmas music. A little bit louder. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. All right. So as for tonight's show, I would, I don't know. It's like a 50-50 thing because I've been invited to a fancy dinner. and I kind of would like to go. I mean, I like you guys, but it's Christmas Eve. Nobody's gonna. Well, yeah, maybe some of you. I don't know. Facebook will let you know. Facebook or Twitter, or if you follow us at any of the things, they'll let you know. Also, it was a brutal month to raise funds for the show. We appreciate those of you who helped out. You can still help out with a tip. Although I imagine you got other more important things. And that's fine, you should. You should have other more important things in your life than this show. Hey, Pugs, why didn't your career as a salesman ever take off? Because of stuff like that. The show requires your financial aid, but look, don't worry about it. If you can't do it, that was me selling everything. I can see why you wouldn't want this. I mean, if I'm being totally honest. But if you buy it, it'll help me out. What's that? You don't care so much about helping me out. Okay. All right. We will survive, though. Okay. So that's it. I'm gonna go now. I don't have a fancy Christmas out. So I guess this is me saying have a great Christmas. Have a wonderful night. Maybe I'll do a pillow talk. I mean, I want to, but fancy dinner I've been invited to. Oh, boy. Bye, everybody. Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, the lights are so